being a parent, do you question yourself, what am I doing, or what am I saying, or why am I doing this, or why am I saying this? Let me tell you this. What's inside of you is just showing up in the way you are parenting. Yes, my dear parent. So, if you've been associated with me, watched my earlier videos on YouTube, or listened to my earlier podcast, you would have seen this where I explained to you that it is nothing different that that you can do when you are a parent. However, you are as an individual is just being reflected in the role that you are playing as a parent. So, there is nothing separately that you should be doing as a parent. You're not doing it when you are alone, when you are as an individual. But even if you manage to do that, it becomes manipulation. But it's just that however you are as an individual is just reflected on the way you are being as a parent. So if you want to change something as a parent, you got to work on your individual self, not on the parent self, but on the individual self. Now, in this podcast is really going to be lengthy. It's a long podcast. So, and I want you to watch this till the end because it will definitely help you. It will definitely show you what is going on inside of you that is actually showing up outside. Right? Yes. So now let's decode this. Let's get into this. So the way you are looking at yourself when you are a parent just comes from what is inside of you. So if you are looking at yourself as a state of power, okay, you are assuming yourself in a state of power. That is what was going on inside of you. Maybe you looked at the other parents. Maybe you looked at your parents as somebody being powerful, as somebody assuming the state of power. That is what has been ingrained in your subconscious. And now when you are the parent, you assume yourself that okay, I am in a state of power. Whatever I say just needs to be done, something like that, or you are superior. Yes, but let me tell you this again. In the spiritual world, there is nothing called superior or inferior. A wonderful thing that I learned from Dr. D. Martini, that is, he gives an example of the I think seesaw, the pedestal and the pit. So when you assume you are superior to somebody, or when you assume you are inferior to somebody, maybe you assume you are superior to your children and you are inferior to somebody else who you think is more powerful, who you think has more power than you, then you are putting yourself in a pit. I mean, you are considering yourself as low, and at some other instances, you are considering yourself as high, as superior. But but truly speaking, in the spiritual world, there is nothing called superior or inferior. Everybody, I mean, there is equality in every soul, actually speaking. It is only the physical being that associates with these words called superior, inferior, power, I have to control, I got to control, I have to control. Yes. But truly speaking, inside of each physical person, inside of each human being, everybody is the same, and everybody is coming from the same source, everybody is carrying the same source, and everybody is just a form of the same source. There is equality everywhere. It can never happen that you are superior in certain cases and you are inferior in certain cases. So that's, again, if you are having this thought, if you are operating from this thought, it is there somewhere inside of you. Yes, it is there somewhere inside of you, and you got to check yourself with that. So if you assume yourself in a state of power, it means that somewhere inside of you, you are carrying the thought that okay, parents have some power, and now I am a parent, so I have certain power. So, or it could also be the other way around, where you have not been given control in your all through your childhood, and now you want to show that control, or you want to uh, be that powerful person, right? Or all through your childhood, or not just childhood, again, all through your growing up years, you have not been in that position to command authority, right? It is not dictating, it is kind of you taking that position um, where you are a leader. Yes, leader meaning a true leader, not again, not a dictator. So it either it it will show up. So what will show up is either the lack of it or the deep rooted thought of it. So when you lack that position, when you lack that authority, and when you become a parent, you assume yourself to be in that state of power. You assume yourself that you have the authority. You assume yourself that you can command. Now, yes, I mean, I agree to these words that command and authority and all, but there's a true meaning to all these words. So if you are, again, if you have listened to my previous episode, if you are that integral person, you automatically become that authority person also. I mean, you need not command people to do this, but you become an authority in whatever you are doing. So yes, let's keep that for another episode, but the point is this. So either you lack that kind of feeling, that kind of emotion, where uh, you were not given anything, you did not lead anything in your life, and now you want to lead. Or you just, you were always being submissive, or you were always being looked down upon, and you had this impression that okay, parents have more power, okay, parents are in a better state of power. And now when you are the parent, you assume that you are in that state of power. You assume that you can command anything and everything. Yes, so it's both the ways. In everything that I'm going to talk about, it is either the lack of it or the deep rooted thought of it that you have inside of you. Then I'm going to go into various mindsets, and this is a long podcast, okay? So just stay with me and you will have your own bulb-on moments. So the second thing is um, the money mindset that you have, right? The money mindset that you have, very, very important. The relation that you have with money out there. And when you are, this also shows up when you become the parent. So how does it show up? So sometimes you are just buying anything and everything for your child, maybe all the toys or all the books. You just want to buy them, you just want to hoard them, you just want to keep them as an asset. Yes, but is it really an asset for you? Is it really an asset for your child? I'm not saying what is necessary. What is necessary, what is essential for your child to learn, it's always you got to provide that, obviously, and not necessarily with books or toys or something like that, but more importantly, with the way that you are being with your child. Let's talk about all the other things that you are continuously, constantly hoarding in your home, feeling that these are my assets or something like that. So, where does this come from? What is the thought that this comes from? Again, it could be a lack of it, that you were never provided all these things and you were craving for all those things. Be it anything, be it all the kind of bed that you buy for your child, the kind of bed sheet, the kind of blanket, the kind of toy, the kind of maybe an expensive toy, the kind of books that you buy for your child. All of these, yes, everything is coming from the lack that you've had in your growing up years. There's nothing wrong about you having a lack. Even if you've had a lack, that's completely fine, because there's a reason even behind that. So it's about you. It boils down to you looking into what your how you've been growing up, the thoughts that you've had, and resolving any conflicts that you are carrying, resolving any hurts that you are carrying, and all that stuff. So yes, coming back to the money mindset that you have. So whatever you are just tending to buy, or you are jumping to buy, is also coming from the relationship that you've had with money in your childhood days, in your growing up years. So for some people, they feel rich when they are buying things, and for some other people, they feel rich when they are not uh, buying all all these kinds of when they're not buying just things that they kind of hoard in the house. But I'm not talking about essentials again. I'm not talking about essentials, or they are necessary things, but the additional things, the kind of chairs that you buy, the kind of toys that you buy, again, which are not actually used on a day-to-day basis, most importantly by your child. Your child just doesn't use all of these, but you're just buying all of these for your child, and you feel rich, you feel proud for spotting it in your house. Oh, I have this in my house. Oh, I have that in my house. You feel rich about it, but it does not actually help your child. Just look around and just identify those things which pump up your pride, but they're not really useful for your child. Where is it coming from? Where did that thought of buying the item come from? Yes. So yeah, some people kind of feel rich when they are hoarding things, when they are buying things, they are hoarding things, they are just keeping at home, not using them, but just keeping them at home because maybe claiming that I have this. Yes, I have this. Yes, I have this. It's coming from the mindset that they are carrying, the thought that they are carrying. Again, could have been come from one of the parents or from one of the from some incidents that have happened during their growing up years, during your growing up years. But it is important to identify where it is coming from. To first accept, looking at the items, identify and accept what is it that that actually came up. Not from a usage point of view, not from an essentialism point of view, but from me feeling rich, me feeling proud about it, right? And you could also see in the way you are going around in the mall, and maybe you just feel like pulling out every item out there which is kind of attractive to you and putting in the basket. Okay, I think the child likes this. Okay, I think I can give this for my child. I think I can give that for my child. Not really sure how important is it, not really sure how effective it is in the utility purpose, but you just want to keep getting them in your putting them in into your basket, and you feel rich when you are just giving out that card, when you're just taking out that card and swiping for that huge amount, no matter what your bank balance is. But you feel rich, you feel good, you feel proud that you are buying things. So do you get this? So, whatever you are buying for your child, whatever you are, however, your relationship with money is just reflected when you are being the parent to your child, right? So, what your money mindset was, do you feel rich when you keep buying things? Money mindset is totally a very vast topic, but here I'm just covering certain important points here. So, do you feel rich when you are just pulling out that card and swiping things, and just because you are the parent now, you are kind of buying things for your child? Yes, and you are maybe feeling rich looking at your house, looking at that item in your house that okay, I have this, I have this, I have this, I have four types of chair, I have two types of rocking chairs, I have three types of toys, I have so many books. Yes, getting that. So yes, that also comes up. The money mindset that you have, the kind of buying that you do for your child is everything coming from the lack of it, either the lack of it or the deep rooted thought in your subconscious thought of it. That means you carry that thought that okay, the people who are doing this, they're so rich. The people who are doing this, I feel so good looking at them. Yes, me I mean you don't know the reason why they are doing it, but you just want to be like that person by giving away your card to swipe that huge amount, right? So yeah, look into just look around and identify those items which actually came from, which actually are pumping up your pride but are of lesser utility value. And then moving ahead, the next one is emotion set. The emotions that you are carrying as a parent again are coming up from what is going on inside of you. What is inside of you will just show up in the way you are parenting. So the emotions that you are carrying, the hurts that you are carrying, very importantly, the blames that you are carrying, the shames that you are carrying, the the yelling, the spanking, the hitting, the comparing, the complaining, the whatever it is that you have been you have been experiencing, you have experienced in your childhood, you have been experiencing in your growing up years, is just showing up now in the way you are parenting your child. Yes, and maybe some kind of praises that you do for your child. Maybe maybe some of them are fake. The fake praises that you do for your child, and even if they are genuine, the genuine praises that you do for your child, even that is coming either from the lack of it or from deep rooted thought of it. Something inside of you is happening that is kind of showing up in the way, in the emotions that you are having for your child. Yes, some mess happened, your child has done something, some chaos happened, and the emotions that are coming, that are running inside of you, are just coming up from what you are carrying inside you. Yes, If it is a pleasant emotion, then maybe it is coming from the lack of it. No, nothing is good, nothing is bad. Even if you are in this way of respectful parenting, gentle parenting, and it is a pleasant emotion, and you have a pure intention, that's and even if it is coming from the lack of it, even if it is coming from the lack of you getting that respect in your childhood, that's good, right? That's good. It's just about being conscious of where your emotion is coming from. That's all. Nothing good, nothing bad. It's just about you becoming aware, right? So it's either no. The point is this, yeah. So the even if you are into respectful parenting, it is either coming from the lack of it, or a deep rooted thought of it. And if you had some kind of negative reaction towards your child, even that is coming from the experiences that you have had in your childhood, and you're continuing to be having in your growing up years. So the emotions that you are carrying that are inside of you are just being showed up in the way you are parenting your child. And then the kind of mindset that you have, is it a fixed mindset or is it a growth mindset? Fixed mindset meaning, do you just think that maybe this is this something, I mean, there are many examples again for fixed mindset. This thing should supposed to be done only in this way, only then it works. You're fixed, you're not being open to other options. Or it could also mean that, okay, I've tried once, I've tried twice, and I don't think it works now. Let me just stop it here. That's fixed mindset. And when you're saying that to your child, when you're a parent, you are actually passing it down to your child also. For example, maybe your child is trying to do something, and your child is kind of showing the irritation for not for not being able to achieve what your child is thinking to do, what your child is planning to do, and looking at her irritation. And I don't say irritation; she's just saying some kind of ahs and ohs which children do, which everybody does, not just children. Everybody does, and at that point of time you got irritated and you said, why do you want to try so much? You know that you are not able to, you know that you're not able to do it, and you still want to do it, and you're still not happy doing it, whatever it is, whatever that is that you are saying. Yes, so in a way you are stopping the child from trying more. So that is a fixed mindset. So fixed mindset is not being able to open up your mind to the other options, to the other possibilities, to the other choices, to the other opportunities. Yes, that is fixed mindset. And just the opposite is growth mindset. So you are continuously growing, you are continuously maybe taking inputs from other people, and putting out outputs from, again, in terms of what you are doing, in terms of what you are saying to your child, specific to parenting. Yes, so the mindset that you had when in your childhood, if inside of you are carrying a fixed mindset, that is what is showing up in the way you are parenting, and you will even pass down this fixed mindset to your child. And if you are having a growth mindset, maybe that is what is being passed down to your child. That is what will show up in the way you are parenting, in everything that the child does. You are kind of looking for other opportunities, other options. What else I can do? How else can I respond? How else can I help my child with this? What else can I say? Growth mindset. Yes. So the child is being impacted with the mindset that you are carrying, and whatever mindset is inside of you is just showing up in the way you are being a parent. Yes. And the next one is productive mindset. I'm just going to give you a simple statement for this. So, how productive you are of yourself, of your resources, of the time that you have, everything comes into this. So, of the resources, you could speak about minimalism, you could speak about reusing, you could speak about recycling. Yes. And I mean, all that, how productive you can be of the resources that you have, how productive you are about the time. You can think of this, you can just look into this statement. If you use your time only for entertainment, that is what the child is learning from you. If you use your time for entertainment as well as education, that is what your child is learning from you. And the chunks of 5 minutes of time that you have here and there all through the day, you're just continuously moving your finger over your phone, binge scrolling, binge watching. That is what your child is learning from you. That is how productive you are. That is a productive mindset that you are carrying inside of you. Yes, and that is also the binge scrolling on Facebook also is coming from another some other things that are inside of you. Yes, maybe the other people looking at the other photos, other person's photos, you are kind of, oh, they're having such a beautiful life. Oh, this person is doing that. Oh, that person is doing that. Again, coming from a lack of it, either a lack of it or a deep rooted thought of it. Yes, so maybe you wanted to be like that person, but you are not able to be that person. You are thinking that, oh, that person is good. Oh my God, that person has done this also, that also, this also, but I'm not able to do anything. Or the lack of it. You don't know what you want to do, you don't know what you can do in that aspect, whatever it is that you are looking, and or you feel good. I mean, again, your ego gets pumped up when you're just scrolling, when you're just going through that feed, that unending feed in your social media, in your mobile phone. Yes, so how productive you are of yourself, how productive you are of your time, how productive you are of the resources that you have outside of you. Yes, all of this is coming from something that is inside of you. And the way you are productive is also showing up in the way you are parenting your child, in the way you are teaching your child about something, in the way your child is learning from you about how productive you are in your time, how productive you are in the resource with the resources that you use, how productive you are with your own self. Yes. So again, however you are imagining yourself inside of you is just showing up outside of you in terms of productivity. Yes. And the next one, the kind of anger that you have and the kind of anger that you show as a parent is also coming from what you are carrying inside of you. Yes, my dear parents, so inside of you, you've been carrying lots of hurts and unresolved hurts. Yes, unresolved hurts. And maybe you are pretending that you are not hurt. Maybe you are pretending that you are everything is good. Yes, everything is good, but as long as you do not resolve your hurts, it continues to keep showing up as anger, as irritation, as frustration, in the way you are living your day, in the way you are parenting your child, in the way you are showing up yourself to your child on a day to day basis. Yes, the anger that you are carrying, the hurts that you are carrying is being shown up as irritation, frustration, anger, yells, shouts, screams, blames, spanking, hit, comparing, criticizing, and all of these that you are doing to your child. And the next one is the short term mindset or the long term mindset versus long term mindset. Meaning, when you're doing anything, there is an immediate consequence, there is an immediate result, and there is a long term consequence. So, for example, taking up a 30-day yoga routine, maybe that has a long term consequence. You don't have any immediate result for that, right? That is the reason you're not pulled towards doing it. You're not motivated enough to do it. Yes, you start it, you are motivated, you start it, but very rarely you actually reach the finish line of doing 30 day of yoga without any break, any genuine break. Yes, or be it reading a book, be it going out for walk, be it writing something, be it taking up a hobby, be it drawing something, doing it consistently every day. Yes, or for that matter, not just this, any other thing also, maybe just picking your phone has an immediate result and also has a long term consequence. Yes, the immediate result could be, yes, you are looking at the important messages, maybe you are waiting for a message from somebody, you are expecting a message from somebody, and yes, you are looking at it. And the long term consequence of what happened after that is your emotions get drained, you have some other kind of disturbing thoughts. So yes, you looked at the important messages, and after that you just opened Instagram, you opened Facebook, you opened WhatsApp, you opened some other kind of social media app, and you're just whiling away time there, right? That has a long term consequence as well. So after a day, when you look back, oh my God, I was not able to do this. Why were you not able to do that? Because just 2 minutes that you had to be conscious about when you were looking at the message that you were expecting from somebody else. You were not conscious in those 2 minutes, and your finger just moved on to open Instagram, to open Facebook, to open Twitter, to open every other damn app in your phone. Yes, so the same thing is also shown in the way you are parenting. So when you are being in a certain way with your child, there is an immediate result and there is a long term outcome that you have. For example, you want your child to listen. You are calling your child to the meal table, and you want your child to listen right then, right there. It doesn't happen. Yes, but maybe now you are looking into ways using bribing, using threatening, yell, shame, compare, blame, whatever it is that you're doing again. Yes, you're doing to your child, and so that you get the immediate result of your child getting up and walking to the meal table. That is the immediate result. But when you are being respectful to your child, when you are being gentle with your child, when you are being however you want to be with your child consciously, the immediate result may not be favoring to you. Your child may not be coming there, or you want to stop your child from crying. You just shout out loud, stop crying, and your child is stopping to cry. But it has the long term consequences are more damaging than the immediate result that you have produced at that point of time, right? So, be it anything, again, in the way that you are parenting, are you focusing on the immediate result? Do you want a favorable immediate result that favors you, or are you more interested in getting a long-term positive outcome? Yes, that long term. If you are more inclined towards creating a long-term positive outcome for you, for your child, as well as the relation that you have between you and your child, the words that you use, the actions that you do, the thoughts that you have at that point of time when you have conflict with your child will be entirely different. And when you want an immediate result, you know what you will be doing. Maybe screaming, maybe yelling, maybe shouting, maybe using loud voice, maybe comparing, threatening, bribing, yelling, shouting, hitting, spanking, all of these things to just get things done at that point of time. So, this also, the way that you are parenting, the way that you are expecting results from your child, is coming from what you are carrying inside of you. It also goes towards the emotions that you've been carrying, also the childhood, and also this kind of thinking that you have that I need to get results immediately. Yes, even though you do not get an immediate result, there is a long-term positive outcome is something that you got to be aware of and work towards it, work appropriately. Yes, and then the fear mindset, the kind of fear that you have, oh my god, if I do not teach my child to eat this vegetable right at this point of time, at this age, my child will never have this vegetable even when my child is a 20-year-old or 30-year-old. And after my child has a family. Or if I allow, okay, today if I say okay for her to have to not have a bath, then she will become lenient and it will become a habit for her to not have bath. And even when my child is a 15-year-old and a 20-year-old, she will continue to not bath. Yes, that kind of fear. Oh my god, today if I become lenient in terms of my child, in the eyes of my child, she's going to take advantage of me when she's a teenager. Yes, these are fears that are again coming from what you are carrying inside of you. The fear that is inside of you will just show up in the way you are parenting. So, this particular fear is again coming from either the lack of it or the deep rooted thought of it. Either you were lacking the trust from your parent or from somebody out there who you were expecting to be trusted. Yes, and then you were not trusted, and then you got into this fearful mode. Yes, so this was inside of you, and this is what is being showing up, and this is what is showing up in the way you are parenting. Yes, so right now in the social gathering, again, maybe your child is not behaving. Oh my god, right now if my child doesn't treat this doesn't greet this auntie, this uncle in this manner, then everybody will think that she's a bad child. She does not know good habits. Or right at this point of time, if I don't teach her what a good habit is, what a bad habit is, she's going to ruin her life with all bad habits. Yes, so life will slowly unfold for you as well as for your child. So what is inside of you will just show up in the way you are parenting. And the next one is The next one is, just stay with me. The podcast is going long, this episode is going long, but stay with me and I'm going to summarize these points after this last point. The last point is the kind of envy mindset again. Somebody's child did something and you are envy, even if you do not realize that you are envy, you're kind of thinking in your mind, oh my god, how that child is doing so many things. How did that parent manage to do it? Let me also try that on my child. Yes, where is this coming from? Is it coming from a true leadership perspective or some kind of envy that you are carrying inside of you? Some kind of jealousy that you are carrying inside of you. Again, coming from either the lack of it or the deep rooted thought of it. Maybe, again, just look into your own childhood. Maybe you were being compared by other children, with other children, or with people around you. That parent's child is doing this, but you are not doing this. That child is doing this, that your friend is doing this, but you are not doing this. Yes? And you were maybe that kind of jealousy, that kind of envy got created inside of you. Again, nothing wrong, nothing good, nothing bad, nothing right, nothing wrong that has happened. From your parents' perspective, they did the best that they can. Now the ball is in your court. Everything is in your hands. You got to identify what are you carrying inside of you, and you got to heal that. You got to resolve that. Otherwise, it continues to show up in the way you are parenting. Yes, and when you are doing it again, it is also getting passed down to your child. Yes, so the kind of envy mindset or the jealousy mindset, oh my god, that person wore that sari, this person is dressing up so beautifully, or that child dressed up so beautifully, let me also dress up my child. Yes, the child is watching everything, the child is learning everything, the child is taking in everything. The child either again just takes the, again shows this envy factor when the child is growing up. Yes, you don't want your child to do this, right? You are already in this journey of going through your past, so you don't want your child to do that in terms of negative aspects, right? So these were the points that I wanted to share with you, and just stay with me. I'm going to summarize the entire thing within short bullet points. So whatever it is that you are doing, your intention matters. As long as you have a pure intention, even though you want to dress your child in that manner, even though you want to teach your child a certain skill, um, maybe you got inspired from other child learning it or whatever it is. But if your intention is pure, if it is not coming from an intention of jealousy, and it is not coming from an intention of hatred, intention is pure, you will know what your intention is. Yes, and when your intention is pure, it doesn't damage your child. You are actually growing your child. And so for the intention to be pure, what you think is important, what you say is important, and what you do is important, and doing what you are saying is important, and aligning your thoughts, words and actions is important. There was a podcast done on integrity. Just go back and watch that episode. And so yes, I know you are also going through tantrums, you are going through frustration, you are also tired, you are going through your own challenges. Yes, you may not be getting that immediate result, you may not be that parent who you want to be at that point of time. But when what you're doing, what you're saying at that point of time is deeply rooted in pure intention, then it definitely helps. You may not see the result right at that point of time, but it helps. There is a compounding effect. You are being the parent who you want to be with your child. There is a compounding effect, and this intention helps the child blossom into a beautiful soul that your child is actually is. And talking about power, you may be thinking that yes, you have power, you can raise your voice, you can control the little ones, you are superior, you know everything, you can command, you can control. But that can actually backfire you as you continue to do it. Yes, how the child is perceiving this situation, how the child is perceiving your position of how you are thinking, you have power, you have authority, you have command, you can control, you can command, is entirely different. Yes, there's a snowball effect even there. The child is just getting repelled with the way that you are doing, with the way that you are operating. Yes, so yes, yes, you are a parent, you can command, maybe you can have an authority, but it needs to come from your integral being. It is not something that you can command from by just raising your voice or something like that, right? So when you are pure in your thoughts, words, and actions, it shows up, and you have that command, yes. But again, it's a double-edged sword. You cannot, you cannot say that, okay, I have the power now and I can do this. No, it's not that I can do this. When you are aligning yourself with spiritual principles, you attract your child to do that, to be that, or your child is learning to be that, to do that. Yes. And just ask yourself, the next point is, what is the root that you are operating from? When you are talking with your child, what is the root, the thought that you are operating from? Are you thinking that I am better than you and you got to listen to me? Or I was right, you didn't listen to me? Are you saying that? Or I am always right? Just stop trying that, just stop doing it, and listen to what I am saying. Right? What is the thought that you are operating from? And as I told you, very importantly, most importantly, nobody is high, nobody is low, superior, inferior, right, wrong. Each person has his or her own purpose. So even your child has a purpose, you have a purpose, and there is a reason behind everything that you are doing. All that you can choose to do is to be conscious of what you are doing at any moment in your life. And yes, everybody is equal in this spiritual journey of life. Nobody is high or nobody is low. And yes, I agree that all of this is easier said than done. And when your child is rolling on the floor and you are brimming with pain, you are maybe carrying some kind of physical pain, you are drained with your emotions. Yes, it might be difficult for you, but everything just boils down to this point. Are you operating from true ego or false ego? Are you operating from true ego or false ego? There was a video that's already been done in my YouTube channel about ego, and I will also be doing an episode on this. So yeah, you can just go there and check that. So just boils down to, are you operating from your true ego or false ego? The perspective, that's all. And what you can do, what is it that you can do at this point of time? Now you have realized that what is inside of you is just showing up in the way you are parenting. What can you do at this point of time? Some of the best things that you can do is have a mentor. Yes, seriously speaking, have a mentor. Have a mentor who can guide you, who can tell you, who can coach you, who can be accountable to you. Yes, and surround yourself with people who are reminding you, who are uplifting you, who are accountable to you. Yes, this is the way that you wanted to do. It is not something that you got to do, but it is something that you wanted to do. Yes, are you doing that? Just a check on your own self, and then be a part of mastermind groups. You may be wondering that how this actually works in terms of parenting, but this actually works. Yes, surrounding yourself with people who you want to be like, who inspire you, who motivate you, who are accountable to you, who give you that kind of push to be in a specific way with your child, which not actually gives you the immediate result, but gives your child the long term positive outcome, is very, very important. Yes. And then yes, it's a continuously evolving journey. It's a work in progress project, and even I am continuously evolving. I can't say I'm close to perfect. I'm no way close to perfect, and life is continuously evolving. I mean, there is no end step. There is no end. Okay, this is it. This is the end. Until you just merge with the spiritual energy, there is no end, right? So yes, challenges keep coming. The way you show up, the way you dig into your own self will pave the path for you. And I'd like to close this episode with just this line, that keep reminding yourself that you are just a channel. You are just a channel um, for your child, not to command, not to control, but to provide that loving kindness to your child. And your child has chosen you to be the channel. So it's your time to just appreciate that fact, acknowledge that fact, and do what you are supposed to be doing at this point of time, at any point of time. Having said that, this brings me to the end of the podcast, and it was a long episode. And thank you, if you're still here, if you're still with me now. Thank you very much for investing your 21 minutes of time with me, and I'm sure this has added value in your life. The next 24 hours, just look into what is inside of you. And under the podcast, there is a description box and there are various links. Just go there, register yourself for my upcoming masterclass, and let's stay connected. Cheers, happy parenting, bye bye.